Hello, welcome back to another watch party. It is the Nets taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. We are in game number 56 of the season. Danny, welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Game number 56. It is a match between two sides who are equal in record, and so a win has mass implications for the way this roster or the standings will look. The Nets and the Sixers on 20 wins and 35 losses. Ahead of them, the Bulls, 22 wins, 35 losses. So they're only a game ahead. And a win today would ensure that one of these teams will be within half a game of the play-in. And the other will be just a little bit further back. But the Nets have won 6 of their last 10 games. They've won 6 of their last 8 more specifically. And that is the best record in the Eastern Conference in the last 10 games from the 7th seed below. So the bottom half hasn't been performing too well, and that has meant the Nets have been able to gain some ground. And that's probably fairly detrimental to the tank. But at this stage, the Nets look like they've sort of solidified where they're probably going to end up in the standings when it's all said and done. And of course, that is going to matter greatly for where we end up for draft position in a couple of months' time. We did play the Sixers about a week ago. It was the final game before the All-Star break, and the Nets got up 100-96. The Sixers did come storming home. Quentin Grimes and Kelly Oubre scored 30 each. But Paul George scored 2 points on 1 of 7 shooting, and they really missed his offensive ability. The Nets got 22 out of D'Angelo Russell, a double-double out of Claxton with 5 blocks, and Cam Johnson scored a handy 16. Watford with 18 off the bench. He's been a valuable bench piece in the last bunch of games, and I think the Nets have really valued his presence. But we're playing a vastly stronger team today as opposed to the previous match that we came up against them. They are missing, or not missing, Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. They are both in. I believe it's the first time we are playing Joel Embiid this year. So even though we're losing the season series, it has not been off the back of Joel Embiid's performances. It's been off the back of a couple of other players. Actually, no, we did play Joel Embiid. There you go. The more you know. 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists in the first meeting, which was a long time ago, 35 games into the season. It feels like it happened a lot earlier in the season. But in that game, we were vastly weaker. Our bench wasn't looking as strong. We shot the ball pretty poorly on that day. And when they had Joel Embiid in the side, they shot over 50% from the field. They had 30 free throws, and they were converting threes at a good clip. So they destroyed us in the first meeting. The second meeting. The first meeting, Jared McCain dropped 30. And it was pretty neck and neck at three-quarter time. Cam Johnson scored 37 points, and Cam Thomas had 18. But for the Sixers, Maxey had 26 and McCain had 30. So they had 6 players in double figures in that game as well, and that is how they got the win. That was a lot earlier in the season. And that was really Jared McCain's welcome to the NBA moment, or letting the NBA know that he actually is an NBA player and he's not here to mess about, despite being a pretty low draft pick. But really, I think there should be a few discussions held about the previous game we played. That was against the Cavaliers. We lost that one by 13. Put up a pretty good fight for most of the game. We led at halftime. And then midway through the third quarter, D'Angelo Russell got injured, and the Cavaliers completely controlled the game from there on. Mobley and Allen combined for 34 points and 33 rebounds, which is just absolutely off the charts. And Mitchell had 26. The Nets did not get a scorer above 20 points. Watford, another double figures game for scoring off the bench. Wilson had 10, Johnson had 16, and the other Johnson had 18. But really, I mean, it was a typical Nets performance where we fall short because we can't score over 100 points. And that has been the case for a month or two now. So, yeah, that is the situation. And let's have a quick look. Yeah, starting lineups are pretty similar, except for the fact that Killian Hayes is getting a start. So this is going to be the ultimate tank job, I would assume. It's actually a pretty important game for both teams, because, yeah, as I said, you know, both teams are probably vying for a high draft pick. But the Sixers, I feel like if they get a low seeding in the playoffs or the play-in, I feel like they can cause a few upsets, provided everyone is fit. And that is really going to hurt their draft position. But look, from a standpoint of the game today, I do... look, I think objectively the Sixers are favourites for this. Because look at their starting lineup and look at ours. I mean, there is very little spacing on the floor for the Nets. And it showed in the previous game against the Cavaliers. We stayed with them to the point where we were leading at halftime, but it was down to our defense in the first half. And we shot the three ball at 26% from three. So we haven't been shooting the ball too well as a team at the moment. And that is why we are probably... I think we are the worst offensive team in the league since the start of the month, but we are also the best defensive team since the start of the month in that same time period. So we are bipolar as hell, and it has us sitting in a very mid position. I want to see if you can see our shooting splits game by game on Basketball Reference. Schedule and results. Doesn't tell us, which is a bit of a shame. We don't have too many more away games this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, I mean, half the games, I guess. There's not too many left, though. So, you know, I feel like this team is going to notch up 8 or 9 wins before the end of the season. That would have us hitting about the same mark that we hit in the 2017-18 season, when Spencer Dinwiddie had just come onto the scene. Joe Harris probably at his breakthrough year. Hollis Jefferson was starting with Jared Allen, and we had Tyler Zeller in there for a bit of time. So that was a really weird period of time. D'Angelo Russell was in his first season at the Nets. And obviously that was the prelude to everything that followed the season after, which was absolute cinema. Alrighty. So starting 5 for the Philadelphia 76ers is Maxey, Oubre, Grimes, George, and Embiid. That is a very good starting 5. And had I not told you that they were sitting 11th in the East, you probably would have thought that this team would have been in the top 6. So it's an indictment of how injured they have been all season round. And it probably has them thinking about whether they're going to pull the plug on the season. But it's not like it's a complete, like, waste of a season. They can still make the play-in. And I feel like, yeah, if they make the play-in and they are all fully fit, they will probably make it out of the play-in. Because they would be the strongest team there. I mean, you've got the Hawks and the Magic who cannot score for shit. I mean, the Hawks are very, very depleted. They got Trae Young. No Jalen Johnson for the rest of the year. So it's like they've got a lot of gaps to fill. and the quality isn't necessarily there. The Magic as well, they are really struggling to score. This is only the 15th game of the season that Maxey, George, and Embiid are all available. So they really should cook us, but we've got some good players, or like good role players. However, like as a group collectively, I don't think they're going to perform too well today. It's a pretty nightmarish spacing lineup, that's for sure, because Hayes can't shoot the ball for shit. He does have an improved 3-ball with Long Island in the G League, but that's different gravy altogether. So 2-1 lead for Philly in the season series. It will be Claxton and Embiid in the jump ball. So keys to the game. The rebounding has been a massive key for the Nets. They'll be looking to get on the right side of things yet again, because they were not on the right side of things in the second half against the Cavaliers. So that is going to be an area that needs to be improved. But with Embiid as the man in the middle, it's going to be a tough task. Embiid, a 1-2 with Maxey, the scooper, and that is a very nice start there for Philadelphia. And that is going to be the challenge for the Nets today, trying to stop exactly that. Claxton was body bumped by Embiid, no foul. Johnson will maneuver his way inside and puts way too much on that mid-range. George is going to push. Held up by Keon Johnson. Crossover, drive in. Williams comes over to help. There's a foul. He doesn't get the bounce. It's going to be free throws. And I don't know who the whistle's on. Seems like a bit of a harsh one. So, 2 early free throws for Paul George. As we mentioned a couple moments ago, Paul George only scored the 2 points against Brooklyn the last meeting. That was mainly because he didn't have Maxey and Joel Embiid to bail him out. Made the Nets a lot... It made the Nets' job a lot easier, having to only deal with Paul George. So today, as I said, it's going to be a lot tougher to cover off all three, especially if you commit multiple bodies to one man. Hayes is getting pressed here by Oubre. Good handle. Bounces it into Williams, who fumbled the handle and then stood out of bounds. It's a turnover. And the scoring is going to be problematic today, I think. I've said it time and time again. I mean, this lineup is an eyesore for offense. If we can't defend, we are getting smoked. Pocket pass, Embiid. Layup, he blew it. Johnson gets the rebound. That was fairly surprising to see Embiid miss a simple lay. Johnson, the crossover, the drive, the scoop, and the layup. That's impressive by Keon Johnson, and he showed that ability last game, early on. And it made a pretty heavy difference. Maxey steps into a 3, splash. He loves playing against the Nets, that's for sure. Very rarely has an off game against us. 7-2 start for Philly. Handoff to Cam Johnson. There is a foul, and I believe it's on Oubre. So first foul. It comes in the first 2 minutes of the game for Philadelphia. Oh my God. Inbound the ball, lads. Johnson. Oh, that's beautiful. Johnson did the inbounding and then he cut to the basket. He was well honored by Killian Hayes. And Johnson with the two-handed flush. It is Johnson with the first 4 of the game. Maxey's going to step into another one. And we're going to need to defend that a little bit better. Keon Johnson's going under the screen. And it is an easy step into a 3 for Tyrese Maxey. Claxton with the roll. And he scores the layup. And we're getting some good buckets on the interior. But the defense has had no answer. Maxey lost the handle. It was knocked away. How does he still have it? I have no clue. And now the switch. Maxey surveying the floor. Grimes is open for 3. He'll move through and give it to the corner. Open look. Oubre is off. And that feels like the first miss of the game for the Sixers. Hayes over the top. Good dish. Johnson under the basket. the conversion. The Nets have all 8 of their points inside the paint, which is a surprise. Maxey. Pocket pass. Embiid picks up his dribble. It allows Claxton to recover and roll over. Oubre does a little move through. It's gone off Oubre's leg. The knock away by Keon Johnson, and we get another stop. Positive play by Killian Hayes early. He's had a couple of nice-looking assists. So here is Hayes. Right on cue. Williams back to Cam Johnson. Claxton at the edge of the paint. Back to Cam Johnson. Creates a bit of space, and he is fouled by Quentin Grimes. You don't see that too much in the modern NBA, getting fouled out there. It will be free throws for CJ, who will look to convert on the first Nets trip at the free throw line. It took a long time for us to get on the board free throw wise, and it had us chasing tail for much of the game in that regard. The Cavaliers were piling on the free throw attempts early in the match. So 10-9. Sixers scored 7 of the first 9, but the Nets have responded here with a little 7-3 run, which could be resulting in an 8-3 run if Cam Johnson makes this second free throw here, which is good. And it is now 10 apiece. So the Nets have responded pretty nicely. Simple basketball's working, though. Oubre on the wing. Maxey freed up again. There is a foul. He was tripped by Keon Johnson. So ball will be inbounded on the side. They're looking for Maxey to get those wide open threes above the break, and he's gotten separation on Keon Johnson every single time. Embiid up top, fakes the handoff, lost the handle. Claxton tried to put his hand in the cookie jar. Hayes tried to come over and get the steal. He's ended up leaving Grimes open, and Grimes punishes. So his first bucket of the game. Hayes will drive it in, shoots with the left, and gets the soft touch. First bucket of the game for Killian Hayes. He's got a couple of assists to go with that as well. Maxey, oh my god, we've left him open. What are we doing? That was the most wide open of the lot, and he's missed it. Net's probably got him out of his rhythm a little. Johnson attacks Maxey, doesn't get the bounce. Embiid with the board, and he'll bounce it to Maxey, who will look to get it ahead. Embiid. Kick out. George steps into one. That rims out. Claxton secures the rebound. Takes it up himself. He's going to drive on Embiid and then not be interested. Williams probably took a hit. Claxton sets the screen. Williams banks it in and gets fouled. And he will shoot an extra after converting the deuce. So Nets doing nicely. Liking what I see. After we were, as I said, down 7 too early on. The Nets have responded with a little, well, it'll be a 13-6 run with a conversion here. And Zaire knocks it down. He's been a very good free throw shooter for the Nets this year. Nets on an 11-3 run. To exaggerate it even more, Williams nearly got the knockaway. George, the kick out to Grimes. Williams nearly read it. Picks up the dribble. Embiid shoots a mid-range 2, and those are always money. 15 all. Cam Johnson receives it from a man with the same surname. Claxton had it knocked away. Was able to somehow save it. Hayes thought about the 3. 6 to shoot. Good feed. Laser pass there by Killian Hayes. He's done that a couple times. The chemistry has been there with Cam Johnson. Maxey, another drive in. The scoop is no good. Oubre, the offensive board, is no good. There's 2 Sixers players down. Trailing the play. The Nets will have an open man as a result. Williams 3. Splash. Nets playing some good basketball on both ends now. Looking a little bit more switched on defensively. Here's Maxey. Keon Johnson playing well defensively now. Maxey didn't have the open three initially. Drive in. Shoots off one leg. Maxey misses again. Cam Johnson's going to bring it up this time and survey the floor. He's going to go at Oubre. Behind the back. Picks up his dribble. Needs help. Keon Johnson up top. Johnson will get it back here. It's good defense by Oubre. He's going to run him off the line. Nope. He's going to shoot a three. It's off. And there's a late whistle on the three. It was the referee off the ball calling the shots. And the Nets, after this timeout, will get 3 free throws. The offense has looked very good. And I think Killian Hayes has a pretty decent part to play. Miracle Tree, welcome. Am I excited for Cam Thomas's return soon? Well, it will make our offense a lot more bearable. So, yes, I am excited. Sixers struggling to beat the tanking Nets. That franchise is cooked. Well, yeah, it's a bit depressing that they're in this position right now. They've conceded 20 off the rip to a team in 2025 playing Killian Hayes, Keon Johnson, and Zaire Williams. And Claxton. They all cannot shoot. Is Embiid and Maxey playing? Yes, they are indeed. Put Claxton in the player to watch again because he is having a great month. This is how things have gone so far. The Sixers have gotten 8 points out of Maxey, who shot the ball well initially, but he's missed his last few. Cam Johnson getting busy with 3 assists early in the game, and he scored the 6, and he will get 3 free throws after this timeout. Claxton has secured a few rebounds early on, a couple points to his name. And Keon Johnson has scored some high percentage looks as well. Zaire Williams has converted an and one opportunity. He's also hit a 3, a traditional 3 point play. And Killian Hayes, 2 points, 3 assists. He's done, he's played very, very effectively within the flow of the offense. And the Nets are 8 of 10 as a team. The Sixers 5 of 13. They have hit 3 3-pointers, but that Zaire Williams make a couple moments ago, that was our first 3 on our first try. We're doing a lot right. The turnover game has not been a staple of the game today, but the Nets have found some very, very good balance. And I feel like even though like our offense has struggled over the course, I feel like we've sort of found a bit of a better balance as the games have worn on, in terms of shooting a few more 2-pointers and not being as trigger happy on the 3, knowing we can't shoot the 3 that well. 9 of our first 10 field goal attempts have come from inside the arc, and there have been some very, very good looks. Sixers have been awfully relaxed defensively as well, so I think they'll be looking to clean a few things up as well. But Cam Johnson's going to get these 3 free throws with the timeout now at its conclusion. So an impressive first quarter. Cam Johnson did score 37 at this venue in the first meeting between these 2 more... I don't even know what I was saying. But it seems like, yeah, there's just something in the air. Lonnie Walker's playing for Philly. So he obviously got given an opportunity by the Nets last year, but they did not bring him back. He's an absolute baller though, Lonnie. Really enjoyable player to watch on the offensive side of the ball. Really good pickup, and I don't really know why he hadn't been given an opportunity by another team a lot sooner. Cam Johnson's made 2 free throws already. 1 more here. Jalen Wilson has checked into the game. First substitute of the match for the Nets. Zaire Williams coming to the bench. Nets lead by 8. They trailed after conceding 7 of the first 9 points, but they have had a very good extended 21-8 run. George, the drive in. Numbers roll over, but not enough to force the miss. Killian Hayes had his pass to the corner deflected out of bounds. So Nets will reset with 19 on the clock, 5:23 to play in this opening period. Ball inbounded to Claxton. Looking for Cam Johnson again. It was knocked away by Walker. Johnson picks up his dribble. Loopy pass into the corner. 8 to shoot. Claxton with 6 to shoot is going to have to go at Embiid here. And he shoots the turnaround fadeaway. Mate, where is this jump shot in Claxton's game? It should be there more regularly. If he can make those, shoot him more. Opens up another element to our offense. Johnson does well to read the pass that was going down low to Embiid. And we get the steal. However, they do the exact same thing and respond by reading the mismatch we wanted to attack. Oh my God, how is that a blocking foul? Embiid is going to get 2 free throws at the line here. Cam Johnson, I thought, had planted himself in a great position. Is that not? I thought that was a charge. So 2 free throws for Joel Embiid at the 4:36 mark. And Embiid made that one. This is his first trip. Grimes will take a seat. David Roddy is in the game. This is a bit of an interesting sighting. He's a big boy as well. Day'Ron Sharpe in the game as well for Brooklyn. Killian Hayes takes a seat on the bench as well. So Watford will enter the game, I assume. Yep. Embiid makes that free throw. Tyrese Martin's also on the floor. Now, this is the lineup that is absolutely going to send us in the mud. We've started very, very well from the field. 9 of 11. Wilson is going to get into the mid-range. Picks up his dribble. Johnson. Can't lose Walker. Oh, he moves through. Puts one up. It's off. And the Nets follow up the 2. Second bite of the cherry. That is great persistence on the offensive glass by Brooklyn. 18 points in the paint. Embiid's going to shoot a 3 with Day'Ron right there. Martin does well to get a rebound as that hits the heel of the rim. Watford's going to facilitate the offense here. Martin's going to shoot a 3. That is egregious! 30-19. The Nets offense is cooking. We lead by double figures now. Embiid rolls to the rim. Watford tries to draw the charge. Roddy with a nice reverse layup. I think the Nets will be happy to give those layup attempts away. Watford. Johnson has an open 2. Or an open 3, should I say. But he attacked the basket and it was a 2-on-1. Day'Ron was there for the lob. And I think Embiid was looking at that as a possibility. But Johnson took it himself. And it was an uncontested layup. So 3 minutes to play. 32-21 the scoreline. Maxey's back out on the floor. Walker. Guarded by Martin. And now Embiid is picked up by Johnson at the elbow. Numbers are going to have to come over and help. Walker contested 3 is short. Roddy gets the offensive board. George back into Embiid. He's got it on Keon Johnson. We do well to force the pass out. Walker's 3 hits back rim. They get another look. This is try number 3. It's Maxey who hits the 3. So frustrating, man, because we forced multiple stops. Watford takes it inside, tries to create separation on Embiid. Johnson, acceleration! Oh, he's blown the layup. He did everything right. The blow-by was there. Maxey takes it inside. Embiid fumbled. the receive, and he had to give it back out to Paul George. The switch. Embiid's got an open look if he wants to shoot the three, and that one rims out, and Day'Ron Sharpe will collect the board, and we're inside the final 2 minutes of the opening quarter. It's Watford who will dribble it across the halfway line, and Jordi Fernandez will call a timeout. Reece Beekman was sitting at the bench, so I feel like Jordy's going to get super inventive with the point guard minutes today. So Nets lead is 8. So Nets are doing a great job of keeping the scoring ticking over. They've got to limit those second chance points, as we saw moments ago. Maxey's got 11. He's the high man. He nearly accounts for half their points. Keon Johnson's had a great first quarter. Probably stiff to not have 8 points because he blew a simple layup. But really, the offense has flowed very, very nicely. And the Nets have been very much the beneficiary. I mean, they're 12 of 16 from the field. They've very rarely missed a shot. The Sixers are 8 of 20. The big thing keeping them in the contest at the moment is the 3 ball. However, I think it's a very, very large positive. The Nets have had more free throws than the Philadelphia 76ers, with multiple players who can draw a foul on their roster. They haven't really delved too deeply into their bench, mainly because I think they suck without Embiid, Maxey, or George on the floor. They've only run a 7-man rotation at this stage. I don't think Tosan is playing, so Derek Whitehead, Max Lewis, and Reece Beekman, the only guys to not get minutes. Overall, though, really, really good shift out the gates for the Brooklyn Nets. I don't think I really expected this going in. Put 455 on the Nets. Are you taking the piss? You think they got it? That is a bold strategy, and I don't condone betting in any setting. Maybe if you're betting a small amount, but 455, brother. Maybe if you're gambling $4.55, but that just seems way too ridiculous. I would never do such a thing. I don't actually think the Nets win, though, because they've got no spacing with that starting group. I mean, that hasn't proven to be an issue so far in this game, because a lot of their buckets have come at the rim. So here's Martin after the restart. Oh, it's an open 3. It's Reece Beekman who's airballed the shot. Day'Ron had a lot of space under the basket after he got the offensive board over Andre Drummond, playing him in his own game. And so the Nets back up to a 10-point lead. Beekman guarding Maxey is something that I like us experimenting with, because Maxey is the main guy cooking us at the moment. We blitz, and Maxey has to pick up his dribble. Roddy. Pass out to Maxey, 3 to shoot. He's going to have to put one up. Beekman does well. What is he doing reaching, though, with 1 second on the clock? That is a bailout. So Maxey's going to get a free throw, or 2 free throws, should I say. $1:10 on the clock in the opening period. Lead is 6. Sorry. Lead is 9. Maxey with 1 more free throw here. That is good. 34-26 the scoreline now. 1:10 to play here. So the Nets will be looking to close this out very nicely. Watford with an impressive handle, and he's forced Maxey into a foul there, who was a little bit overzealous, trying to get the steal. And the Nets will get free throws. They're in the bonus. And Watford's been very impressive drawing fouls on drive attempts. He's very unorthodox, Trenton Watford, but I think that's what I really enjoy watching about him. The free throw is not converted, though, on that trip. One more free throw awaits. And that one's good, so 9-point lead. Beekman guarding Maxey off the inbounds. Oh, and surely he stood on the sideline. They could have a 5-second call or 8-second call here. Oh, they've just gotten it by. And then Grimes is allowed an easy layup. I mean, that's really, really frustrating because I thought we'd trapped the Sixers into their own half. And unfortunately, we've just allowed an easy runway. The Nets can execute a 2-for-1 here. It's Watford guarded by Maxey. He's going to back him down. Drummond over to help. Dare on the backdoor cut and the slam. Beautiful dish by Watford. Great game awareness. We haven't scored this many points in over a month. In a first quarter, Drummond is fouled by Day'Ron Sharpe. And that is a smart foul. Free throws to follow here for Andre Drummond, who is a 57% career free throw shooter. So, Drummond at the line, by no means reliable. And that free throw speaks volumes. Now, the Nets have to be ready for a miss here and ensure that they alleviate the risk of an offensive rebound from another Drummond miss. And that one's off, and Day'Ron gets the board, but what? What? Oh, for fuck's sake, a lane violation? Who the hell has committed that? That is criminal. Got to reset the clock here. So 17 seconds here for the Nets to operate. Drummond has a third go at it. He misses that one too, but he gets the offensive board. You absolute donuts. Drummond and Watford are talking shit here. Drummond may have been teed up. He did get teed up. So, Drummond got fouled by Watford, but Drummond talked a load of shit, and now the Nets are going to get a free throw out of it. And Cam Johnson will look to hit double figures in the first quarter for points. And there it is, 38 points for the Nets. Drummond will get another 2 free throws, though. So, probably a soft technical, but regardless, free throws upcoming here for Drummond. So he went 0 of 3. His haircut is absolutely dog shit. Drummond converts 1, finally. One more free throw here for Drummond. Got his own miss, so we've got to box out again and watch that again, but he converts both. That's really frustrating because that should not have been points there. For Drummond at the line. Oh my god. Take my word for it, there's not 15 minutes left. There's 5 seconds. It's Watford with it. He's got Roddy guarding him. Drive in, crossover. He's got to put one up with the right. He's got it to go as the clock expires. And the Nets crack 40. I said this team has no offense. And we've put 40 points up. Let's see if that actually was let off in time. Oh, you betcha, with 0.5 of a second to spare. And the Nets are up by 10. They've scored 40 points for the first time since that Game in which they dropped 132 points on the Blazers and won that one convincingly. Impressive first quarter on the offensive side of the ball, man. The Nets would rather have Killian Hayes than Lonnie. Well, Hayes has contributed more to the game than Lonnie Walker, I'll tell you that much. Really, I cannot point out a weakness for this team. Maybe at the end of the quarter giving away 4 free throws to Andre Drummond, but even still, I'd rather you give the free throws away to Drummond than any other player, really, on that Sixers roster. So the Nets and the Sixers end up shooting a batch of a crap ton of free throws at the back end of that quarter. Not really a high turnover game, but the Nets shot 75% in the quarter. Only the 3 3-point attempts, which I think is very telling, that we scored 40 points with only 3 threes. In the modern game, that is unheard of. Usually you're cracking 40 if you, I don't know, you maybe attempt 7 or 8 threes, or you have to make like 6 or 7 threes in order to get there. But the Nets have played a very efficient brand of basketball. Cam Johnson, 2 of 3, with 6 free throws. You've got Dayron, who's converted all his tries in the paint. Martin's hit a 3. Watford scored he scored a 2 and had free throws. Williams has been well balanced. Johnson's had every field goal attempt from the inside. Claxton the same. Hayes the same. Really, we're doing what we're good at. Playing a smarter brand of basketball. I mean, the other day, Keon Johnson was 0 of 6 from deep from his 19 field goal attempts. So he's found a balance today. Thus far. That is a very, very impressive offensive quarter. So second quarter underway. Beekman and Martin. So Beekman, Wilson, Martin, Sharp, and Watford the 5 on the floor. That's questionable. Martin accelerates to the rim. That's a shocking layup attempt. Sixers in transition of the numbers. Yabusele's in the game for the first time today. Martin does well to disrupt. He appeared out of nowhere, and then Beekman nearly threw it away to the opposition. Good stop. Beekman drive in. Kick out. Martin steps into a 3. Nope. Sharp is causing major problems. Major issues on the offensive glass, and that is something that I don't think we saw enough of in the second half. But today, I mean, they're playing a smaller group out there with Yabusele as the small ball 5. And there's a very... Actually, no, Drummond is out there, but on those rebounds, Drummond has not been bodying up Dayron Sharp. So at that point, that's when Dayron can eat. He's already gotten the 5 rebounds in the game. We've been very impressive in nearly every aspect of the game. Martin to Sharp up top. Picks up his handle. Wilson, now in a switch, guarded by Drummond. Attack that. Layup, that's a tough shot. And there is a foul on Drummond. That is a bailout as well. I don't think that was a foul. I think Wilson lost his footing. And so it's going to be more free throws for J-Dub. So Wilson's been a little bit standoffish in this opening quarter. He's been all right. Or this opening... Yeah, in the opening quarter, he was pretty off to the side. Second quarter's probably going to get an increased role. Makes both free throws there. The Nets have highly capitalized on those chances they're getting. Trying to deny the pass into Grimes, and Beekman does well to press it. He's fumbled the handle. George gets it by, and Yabusele takes it in. Drummond with the flush. I tell you what, every time we've nearly closed them in to the backcourt for 8 seconds, they've always wound up scoring an easy bucket at the rim, which I find very confusing because we've had them under duress for much of the clock. Sharp. Looking for a cutter. Oh, mate, you cannot be serious. I thought that was just a simple hard screen that's decked the Philly player. What do you want him to do there? That's a simple screen. That's fucking mystifying that they keep on calling these illegal screens. It's like at the discretion of the official every single time. And to be fair, I don't even know what they deem to be an illegal screen these days. Drummond cross court to Yabusele. We'll leave it for Grimes, and the Nets switch their defense. Yabusele gets it down low. Sharp's there to help. Dayron with the block. Drummond somehow ended up with it. That is so stiff. So lead back down to 8. Backdoor cut by Wilson was not honoured. Watford on the wing, drives it in, put one up, it's off. Dayron with a touch pass to Martin, he's wide open. Oh, you've got to make those. And then he does well to follow up. It's going to be Nets ball. Nets will regenerate. And go again here. Beekman going to do the triggering in. That was an impressive pass by Sharp. Probably stiff to not get the assist. Martin not good enough to make the shot. Watford was fouled by Drummond. And Watford wants free throws. He's claiming that he was going up for the shot. He was definitely going for the roll pass into Dayron Sharp. Drummond's already got the 3 personals, so they probably wanted to manage Embiid's minutes here, but they're not going to get that luxury because Drummond's already on the 3 personals. Dayron. Now Watford. Drive in. Yabusele got completely removed. There's an open look in the corner for Beekman. It's off. It's such a shame that Beekman is no good at shooting the ball, man. He's already had 2 open looks. Nets have not made a field goal in the quarter. Dayron with the blitz and the steal. Oh, they're going to call a foul. Oh my God, the Nets were off to the races. Is Geordie going to challenge this? Probably not. That would be a rash decision. I think he got hit on the arm. The Sixers bench were in raptures. Embiid is now back in with Drummond in severe foul trouble. Dayron's going to sit on 3 fouls. Claxton back in to coincide with Embiid's arrival. So Grimes up top. Oubre the drive in. Wild pass. Knocked away by Beekman. The Nets get the steal, but the Sixers have the numbers. Watford. Good little move. Good pirouette. Oh, he's blown the layup. That was such a good look. Grimes is going to go 3-on-1 break. Claxton, that was easy food. Very, very stiff to not get the offensive rebound, or the defensive rebound, should I say. You could see that coming from a mile away, though. Grimes had no support there. And Martin did well to hold Grimes up to the point where Claxton could just easily fly in and get the block before that registered with the backboard, and it would have been considered goaltending. George will inbound. Straight to Embiid at the corner. He's blitzed. And we force the pass. And then we get the steal. Keon Johnson with the read. We'll push. Wilson. Early. Trigger. 3. Splash! Oh, that is so satisfying to watch. George. Roller is Embiid. Good defense. Embiid forced into a pass. He's going to demand it back. He's got Martin on him in the post. George is going to try go 1-on-1 on Keon Johnson. That is a tough 3. What are you doing? Why would you foul him from out there? Oh my God. Keon Johnson is such a mixed bag. He fed us the 3 on the previous sequence, but now he's fouled the 3-point shooter on the outside, which is really, really frustrating. Been a lot less fluent on the offensive end for both teams in the quarter. George's free throw rims out. Cam Johnson back in. Killian Hayes also out on the floor now. Looks like he'll be denied entry. Zaire Williams also on the sideline, waiting to return. George makes the second. He's got one more free throw here. Now Johnson will return. So one more free throw for George, which is good. And that lead is now reduced to 9. Free throws have been a heavy staple of the game so far. 24 free throws between the two sides, 20 makes. Hayes picks up his dribble, out to Cam Johnson. Kick out. Oh, that's a good pump fake by Hayes. Kick out. Passing around the perimeter. It's off. Hayes, oh my God, he had a wide open 2 there if he could just time his jump. Williams blitzes Embiid. Numbers arrive at the corner. That's great rotations by the Nets. Yabusele had it knocked away. The Nets another steal. So impressive, the defensive rotations. Johnson behind the back. Gets inside the Euro. The kick out. Wilson 3 again. Yes! J-Dub. Back out to a lead of 12. Embiid flings it out. George, can he respond? Yes, sir, as that rattles home. So, back to a 9-point game. Little under 5 minutes gone in this opening. Well, in this second quarter, should I say. Hayes is doubled. Johnson has another open look. You can't leave him open out there. It's off, though. Williams gets the offensive board, and he flung it in. Oh my God. We just can't miss. George drives in. There's the foul. It's waved off. It's on the floor. And we will get a timeout at the 6:55 mark. The Nets, I mean, the offense hasn't been as prolific in this second quarter, but we're playing very well on the defensive end and are forcing quite a few turnovers here in this second quarter, which I'm really enjoying. And so let's have a quick look at the box score here. Cam Johnson's got the 10. Wilson's got 8. Williams the same. And Claxton has picked up a nice old block there. So 4 points, 3 rebounds, and a block for him. Killian Hayes has not forced it, which you like to see. Dayron Sharp has been very, very proactive. With 6 points and the 3 rebounds, a block to go with. And Keon Johnson, he's just been an absolute mixed bag, but largely positive. The 6 points, an assist, a couple steals, a block, very defensively active. So that's what you like to see. We've definitely been a little bit more inclined to shoot the 3 ball in this quarter. Only the 3 3-point attempts in the first period. We've taken 7 in this quarter already, and haven't been all that efficient. But Jalen Wilson most definitely has. He's got the 8 points without a miss so far. The Nets as a team aren't shooting the ball as well as they were, but they are still shooting far superior in comparison to the Sixers. I mean, we've made the same amount of free throws. We've nearly hit the same amount of threes. We've had 6 extra makes overall. And the turnovers have piled up for Philly in the second quarter. 5 turnovers to the Nets 3. So we're playing a really, really good game defensively, I think. And it's really helping us on the offensive side of the ball. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support and drop a like. Subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets versus the Washington Wizards in a couple of days' time. So, man, the Nets are just so bought in. They are so bought in defensively. So impressive. All right. So play's going to resume here. With the lead at 11. Staggering. Embiid had it knocked away. Steal. Claxton with the knockaway. The Nets are going to run. Johnson's going to pull up as the C's parted. It's off. That was a smart heads-up play. Oubre moves inside. Claxton with the denial. And it's swatted straight to Jalen Wilson. Another stop. And Wilson's going to go at Embiid now. Body bump. Picks up his dribble. Out to Williams. And there was a travel. Jalen Wilson really needs to stop that. He drives it in, and he's almost like Ben Simmons in the respect that he just... It's like he's walking to nowhere. It's like he's going on a journey with no endpoint. Because he gets in the paint and then realizes where he is and just completely kills the flow. 8 to shoot. Maxey's got it here. Crossover, drive in, beautiful layup. That's almost undefensible. Hayes, early offense. Johnson drives baseline, kick out. Williams has an open look right in front of the net bench. It's off. Board for George. Can't argue with that look. To Maxey, who's going to step into a deep tray. That one is off. A little bit long. We send it cross court to Hayes. Oh, beautiful feed! And there's a foul included in that. Oh my god, the sauce on that pass by Killian Hayes. Oh, what a dish. Pinpoint precise, and Embiid with a little bit extra afterwards to ensure that Claxton was destined for the free throw line. 5:36 to go in the second quarter. And what's going on here? We got changes, I think. Nets are killing it in the fast break as well. 10-0 on the break. Looks like Embiid and Yabusele's gone to the bench. But Yabusele's gone to the bench. Oubre's back in. I think Embiid is still on the floor, but he's at the other end of the facility. Oh, we've got some spillage. If only Iron Eagle was here. We've got his brother to... Not his brother, his son to replicate the drama. So, 52-41 the scoreline. 5:36 to play in the second. Claxton will get a free throw here. He's not usually reliable from the spot, but he is on that occasion. It's back up to a lead of 12. Maxey getting covered by Hayes in the backcourt. As we're into the second half of this quarter, Day'Ron Sharp's now on the floor with Claxton. Maxey's three was open, but he didn't get it to go. We got Sharp and Claxton on the floor. This is the strangest lineup I've ever seen in my life. Day'Ron's getting guarded by Maxey, though, in the post. This may actually be a genius play. Johnson, high screen by Claxton. We've got next to zero spacing with this group. Hayes, Williams, Sharp, and Claxton. Now Sharp is going to take a seat on the bench. I don't know why we just brought him back in. Keon Johnson will check back in. That was unorthodox for all of 10 seconds. Ball inbounded. Johnson, quick trigger. Oh, it's off. Lonnie Walker with the save. Sixers are going to go early. Maxey's the first one forward, but he's blitzed by Williams. Embiid will shoot a 3 over Claxton way too long. Good box out by CJ, and Williams will get the rebound and hand it to Keon Johnson. Williams gets it back at the wing. Cam Johnson guarded by George. Claxton man in the middle. Johnson, the cut back door. Beautiful feed by the big. 55-41. Embiid gets inside. It's another blocking foul. And Embiid will head to the free throw line. Williams trying to draw the charge. That's the second time we've tried that. Mate, the Nets are playing some box office basketball. This is like... It's just really smart. Just mixing it up every single possession, and you love to see it. 4:22 to play in the quarter. Embiid makes the first free throw. He hasn't been awfully busy at the free throw line in this game. 4:22 to play in the second quarter. Embiid with another free throw to come here. And Embiid makes both. 55-43. 4:22 to play in this opening half. Hayes gives it to Johnson with precision again. Bounce pass into Claxton at the dunker spot. He shoots with the left. He knew he missed it, and he followed up his own miss. Saved it, but threw it right to the opposition. Walker has an open 3. He'll step into one. That is heavily short, and Hayes with a strong board on Embiid. We push it. Johnson, kick out. Keon Johnson now will drive it in. They do well to defend that. Williams faked the pass. Splash! The ball movement is delicious. Oh my God. I am blushing over this offense, man. Maxey completely killed Hayes on that dribble, but it rattles out and the Nets can continue to pile on the pain in this opening half. Claxton the spin move. Williams the pump fake. Took a hit. One more to Claxton. Shoots with the left. We can't miss. And we've got a timeout by Nick Nurse. We are leading by our largest lead in the game with a little over 3 minutes to play. The Sixers are shell-shocked. The ball movement is just... Oh my God, man. We cannot miss. I cannot believe my eyes. How on earth is this team up by 17 points on a full-strength Philly? I mean, not full strength, but their so-called big three are all available. Y'all think Embiid is cooked or nah? I don't know. Embiid has not done a lot for us today. I actually just can't believe that we are playing this well. 60-43 the scoreline. We've got 2 players in double figures, but we've got 2 pressing that mark. Claxton's played a great game. The 9 points, 5 boards, 1 assist. Beautiful dime as well. He's got a couple blocks to his name. In the last, I think, 17 or so games, Claxton is number 2 in the league for stocks. So steals and blocks combined. Next best, Victor Wembanyama. So in some pretty good company, Cam Johnson has not hit a 3-ball tonight. Could you believe that he has not hit a 3-ball tonight? Imagine if he was like converting on half. We're up by over 20. Zayez on 4 or 5 shooting scored 11 points. CJ with the 12. Wilson has not missed at all. Hayes has had a great 4-assist game. He's only taken the 1 shot. Hater Central you got no business covering this game, buddy, because there's no misses to account for. Neither are there turnovers. He's had a pretty flawless game at the point. And, man, this is just crazy. And the thing is, we've only hit 5 threes in the whole half. Inside the arc, we have been clinical. We've had 5 extra shots. Now, there was a certain point we had about 4 less shots than the Sixers. We now have 5 more, hit the same amount of threes, basically on par for free throws, and forced a batch of turnovers in this second quarter. So, I'm liking this. This is very, very, very good fun, what we are watching. Whatever happens from here on out, it's been a very good first half. Don't let anyone take that away. Play resumes. Oubre looking for a pass. It's Embiid who will shoot at the elbow, and he converts. Only his second field goal make in the whole game. So I don't know if he's just not been looking to be that assertive or what. Oh my God, Clax. That's a shocking turnover there. Hayes was looking for Claxton. Oh my God. Embiid's going to get more free throws. Claxton wasn't even looking at that pass that Hayes was looking to execute. So we've got to make sure we don't let this go into single figures. That would undo our hard work. So 60-45. Embiid with a couple free throws. He's been perfect from the line. He's stuck on automatic from that spot. So one more free throw here. Embiid with 2 makes. Okay. Hayes, drive in. There's another foul. Careless one there by Maxey, and the Nets are in the bonus. I don't know how good Hayes is at the free throw line, but he's going to get a look at it here with 2:29 on the clock. That's a careless one to give. And I think Maxey's on 3 personals, because he's committed a couple of rash ones. I think they're going to take him to the bench. So Hayes the shooter pair. Oh my God. Free throws off. One more. And he makes the second. Back up to 14. Maxey picked up by Keon Johnson. The closing group for the Nets will be the starting 5. The Sixers likewise. Oubre on the perimeter. Now Embiid up top. Paul George blitzed. Pass to the corner for Maxey. It's knocked away. The Nets get a steal. Run! Claxton the rim run. And he's missed the layup. How on earth has he done that? Oh, that was nearly bread and butter, and Grimes hits a 3. Are you taking the piss? He literally just needed to slam it. 5-point swing in the blink of an eye. We should have probably been up 16 about 5 seconds ago, and instead, I don't know why Clax has gone for the layup there. Go for the two-handed flush. It's a beautiful bounce pass by Hayes. Perfect amount of weight on it. You got to be better than that, Clax. Come on, mates. So, little under 2 minutes left here in this second quarter. And the lead is 11. Oh, that's so frustrating. So frustrating. So, little stoppage here by the Nets. They probably want to close this half out on a high. There's been no real reason for Geordie to exhaust many timeouts, so I think this is a timeout that Geordie probably wants to use, because I don't think that carries over into the second half. $61 of 50. Watford's back on the floor. Interesting player to have on the floor to close the half. Claxton, man in the middle. They're looking for Watford in the post. He's got Grimes on him. 6 to shoot. Backs him down. Turn around. And gets the layup to go. With Watford being a point guard at that height, it just causes a load of issues matchup-wise. George was open momentarily. He found Grimes on the skip pass, and that one's off. We get very, very lucky. Most NBA players are making that bucket. And the Nets get a reprieve, and they will look to expand the lead once again with a little over a minute to play. High screen by Claxton. Watford now guarded by Oubre on the switch. Cam Johnson will get it at the wing. He's going to step back. Pass to the corner for Watford. That's a tough three, and it's blocked. And the Sixers will push the pace. It's Maxey to the corner for Oubre, and the two-handed flush. There's nothing you can do about that. Back to 11. That's what happens when you have a bad shot attempt like that by Trendon Watford. So 40 seconds left. Nets can execute a 2-for-1 if they are remotely interested. Watford had a lot of space there. He's going to set the feed on the three. It's off. Maxey's going to push the pace. He can probably pull up for three if he wants to. Oubre bypasses defenders. They turn the ball over. And the Nets can run. Surely there was a foul in that. But the Nets will hold for one because they forced the steal inside the final 24. Watford will wait. Cam Johnson will not set a screen. Watford out to Cam Johnson. That is a deep three. It is off. That is the halftime break. And the Nets hold the Sixers to 22 points in that second quarter, despite dropping off a little bit themselves. They have managed to actually consolidate on that lead that they had at quarter time. And they lead this one at the main change by 11. Very impressive half, though. 63 first half points against Philly is impressive, but I think holding them to 52 points, even more so. Really no weak point on offense. The three-point shooting was pretty ghastly in that second quarter. We had 14 threes in that quarter and made only one extra in comparison to the first quarter where we were 2 of 3. But the big thing, we're shooting above 50% from the field. Generally speaking, we've had 7 more makes than they have. And they haven't been shooting the 3 ball all that well either. We've been at the free throw line and been pretty busy in that respect as well. Overall, we've gotten some good outputs from our keys. Claxton with 9 and 5 with a couple blocks in there. Cam Johnson with the 12, but he hasn't been that efficient. Missed all 5 of his 3-point attempts. Zaire's been excellent. 11 points on 4-5 shooting. And Keon Johnson, Trendon Watford, Wilson and Sharp off the bench. There really hasn't been no weak point, and that's without mentioning Killian Hayes. He's had some great assists. Probably should have had a couple more because he was dishing passes off to some very wide open shooters. We did well to force turnovers in that quarter as well. The Sixers had very few in the opening quarter, but they now have 8 at the half. And overall, we're doing just a very good job of trapping them into corners and forcing them to only pass to the one way out. And the Nets are reading that one way out and they are blocking it off and thus forcing turnovers. So it's been impressive. Maxey had the 15 points in that first half, but was a lot more conservative in that second quarter. Embiid with the 10, but he's only made 2 field goals, and Paul George only the 3 shots. He's been busy at the line, though, as have quite a few of the Sixers players. Grimes with 8. Oubre, a quiet one with 2. So they'll need to see more from him, but the Nets have been really, really impressive. And the points in the paint total is the most impressive part for me, because they've, of course, got Embiid, and he is usually an absolute nuisance. But we have gotten 16 extra points in the paint. We've also had the 11 fast break points to 7. We had the first 10 of the game, though. So later in that quarter, probably gave away a few too many fast break points, and that is the byproduct of missing your 3-pointers, which we did a heavy amount of in that first half. Turnovers pretty even. The rebounding is very, very narrowly favoring us. It just has a lot to do with the field goal percentage, and we are far superior in that aspect right now. So that is where we lie. The Nets have had the best defense in the NBA since the start of February, apparently. They have. Yep, they most definitely have. It's pretty crazy. Like, if we look at points per game and opponent points per game, we are, and this is holistically for the whole season. This is including the period of time where we had Schroeder and Finney-Smith on the roster as well. We're 29th in the league for points per game. Opponent points per game, though, we are 8th. We're 8th in the league. So defensively, we're excellent. Offensively, we had a very good start to the year, but now that's severely dropped off. Offensive rating is nearly the worst in the league, and it's a little bit more respectable defensively. Our pace is the worst pace in the league. We do not. There is not a team that plays slower. Let me have a look. I'm just trying to see if yeah, there's not really a way for me to see how many points we've given away compared to other teams. Let's see. Hang on. League rank. I don't know. I don't think it comes up. How many players are shooting above 50%? Simmons was, Claxton is, Sharp. Cam Johnson still is hovering at about 49% from the field, which is so impressive. 3-point shooting's at 41.5. Trenton Watford's at 46, but there are quite a few players shooting subpar. Beekman, Johnson, Clowney, Russell, Wilson, Williams, Martin. All these players are sub 40% from the field shooters. So it's quite staggering that we are in a position where we're winning games of basketball purely off the back of being defensively very sound. According to Kirk Goldsberry. Yeah, I think it's been pretty well documented, actually. It's been very, very impressive. And look, we're only getting more healthy. Cam Thomas will be back soon. Noah Clowney, I think he's a little bit more... he's going to be out for a bit more time. Tosun, I think, is going to probably be staggered for the rest of the season, his minutes, because he only has like 10 games left on a 2-way contract. And we'd need to waive someone in order for him to get a full scale. D'Lo is out with the ankle sprain. That'll get sorted probably middle of next week because he's missing the Wizards game. And Derek Whitehead's away on G League assignments. So Max Lewis is active. And I believe that is the only player who has not gotten time yet. But overall, very impressive first half. So, look, let's see if the Nets can close this one out, because without D'Angelo Russell, we have not won a game since he's arrived. We're 0-6. So it's going to be very interesting to see if we score another 63 points or whatever it is. That would definitely secure the win, because the way we're defending, we're not conceding 74 points in the second half. Okay. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets versus the Washington Wizards in a couple of days' time. Now, in case you don't know the implications for this game, we are on the same amount of wins as the Sixers. We're on the same amount of losses as the Sixers. A win today would mean the Nets go above Philadelphia into the 11 spot and also go within a game of the 10-seeded Chicago Bulls, which would mean that we, in essence, probably by next week, could potentially be above Chicago and in the play-in again. With the Wizards up next, that is very, very possible. But look, we have an interesting sort of run of games coming up, which I can see us losing quite a few of. We've got... Who have we got? So we've got after the Wizards, we've got OKC, Portland, Detroit, San Antonio, and the Warriors. And then there's a stretch in about mid-March, which it gets fairly tough. In the run between the 11th of March and... well, to the 25th, so 2 weeks, we wind up playing Boston twice, Indiana twice, Dallas once, the Lakers, the Cavaliers. The only 2 games of respite we probably get are against Chicago and Atlanta. But really, I think there may be a few games we can win in the final, 2 weeks of the season. We play the Raptors a couple times. We play the Hawks. We play the Wizards. We play the Pelicans. That could be 5 wins right there in the final 2 weeks. So this team could really crack 30 wins the way they're playing right now. So I've just accepted at this point that we are not getting top 5 in the draft. We don't know that. We may not. And shit's just going to happen that way. And we just got to live with it. However, there is a world where we do get top 5. We get kissed in the lottery. I don't know. Unless the Sixers and Bulls lock in, somehow we are making the play-in. Look, I think the problem is this, right? I don't think there was anticipation that there were going to be teams that are bad, that were going to be bad, if that makes sense. I don't think going into the season, I thought the Sixers were going to be on the same record as us. Heck, we were scheduled to win 19 games over under. I think that was the line, 18 and a half. We're on 20 with 25 games left. That wasn't supposed to happen, number one, but I do think the Raptors being poor, the Hornets being, well, not improving, the Sixers being this shit, yeah, I don't think there was really anticipation that was going to happen. If anything, I would have told you that the Bulls were probably going to be worse than Toronto. With all the players that Toronto brought in. I mean, they didn't bring in too many players, but I feel like the Raptors have a better roster than Chicago. Or did have a better roster than Chicago. Mainly because I would have expected Levine to get offloaded a lot earlier in the season. So, yeah. I think there's just a lot that I wouldn't have expected that has happened in this NBA season. Even like Phoenix being poor. The Spurs have been a bit weird. They were probably nailed on to make the playoffs if Wembanyama stayed fit, but they are probably going to slide now that he's unavailable for the rest of the season. Even the Pelicans, right? The Pelicans are the second worst team in the league. No one could have predicted that. And in that case, then you go from being potentially the 6th or 7th drafted draft team to winding up in the top 5 or having the 5th or 4th worst record. Let's say Charlotte, Toronto, Utah. Sorry, New Orleans. You know? Like, you couldn't anticipate that going in. I'd sell my soul to Adam Silver if we get like 5 at least. Don't know. I don't know. It's like it would be great to get a top 5 pick. But like, even going into the season, like, I just know for a fact, like, if the trades don't happen, it's not worth me wasting my energy getting pissed that they're not happening, you know? So I just don't want to consume myself in that sort of behavior, really. If there is good basketball being played, I'm going to enjoy it. And whatever happens, happens. Whoever we draft, we draft. And Jordi Fernandez has made two-way players look good. So maybe there's a possibility that some of these players that we draft could exceed their draft position in terms of what they deliver for on-field output. So who knows? Just never know. They underestimated Fernandez. Well, that's the other thing, right? I don't think anyone thought Jordi Fernandez was going to be this good. Like, Sacramento Kings fans, they were like, you've gotten a good one here. But I don't think the Nets fans really anticipated Jordi to be this good. Mainly because we've had some really shit coaches for a long time. We've probably had shit coaches for about 6 years. We've probably, shit coaches for about 6 years. So, like, you know, I was accustomed to dealing with Steve Nash and Jacques Vaughn and all this. Look, if we had Jacques Vaughn or Steve Nash, I honestly think we are winning 10 games. We don't even come close to winning as many as we do now. We'd be lucky to hit 20 by the end of the season. Plays resumed, though, for the second half here. Cam Johnson, the drive in. Skip pass to Johnson. It wasn't intended for him, but he was able to recover. Pump fake. Drive in. Layup. Oh my God, he's gone over the shoulder behind him to Claxton. That was really unorthodox. Innovative, but execution was a little bit, wasn't acceptable. Maxey into Oubre. Embiid is going to shoot a 3 over Claxton, and that one is off to the left. So Nets will look to score the first bucket of the quarter. The second half. Passing around the perimeter, Williams will take a dribble. Pocket pass into Claxton. He fumbled it. They're going to look for Cam Johnson with 7 to shoot. Claxton the layup. Oh, that's beautiful. I feel like there may have been a travel involved very early on in his dribble. Embiid picks it up. Maxey the drive on Hayes. The kick out back to Embiid. He's dared to shoot. And he's just not getting enough lift on those 3-pointers. His knees may have something to do with that. Williams shoots a 3. He ain't shy. And there's no foul there. Oubre quiet in the first half. Only the 1 field goal made. We'll probably be looking to get involved a little bit more. George the drive in. The kick out to Oubre. The extra to Grimes. He shoots the 3 and that one is off. Williams batted it into space. Johnson with the gather. Changes direction. He's going to slow things up again. Nets will play in the half court as they always do. Cam Johnson. Wing. Back into the center. Six the shoot. Claxton the high screen. Johnson the drive. Pulls up. Foul. Can't get it to go, but we're getting a couple free throws here. That is another bailout of sorts with 2.5 seconds on the shot clock. So Cam Johnson had a very inefficient shooting first half, but that was predominantly because of the three-point shooting, which he did not convert on. 0 of 5 in the first half. Nets have expanded the lead to 14. They led 63-52 at the main break. They scored the first 3 of the quarter. Good bit of defense early. They've forced Embiid into some three-point looks. The Nets lead by 15. And it is very close to the Nets' largest lead, which I believe was about 17. Maxey the acceleration, the drive. Oh, he doesn't get the bounce. So Maxey will get a trip at the free throw line now to quickly cancel out those Cam Johnson free throws. Maxey's the main guy I'm scared of. Paul George doesn't even exist for me. And Joel Embiid is not moving the needle today. So Maxey makes both. Back down to 13. Claxton will inbound to Hayes. Claxton. Reading the floor. Cam Johnson the drive. The layup. It goes uncontested. So Cam Johnson on the interior has been very, very smart with it. Nets, their points in the paint advantage is growing by the second. George on the outside shoots a 3 over Johnson. That's a tough one, and that is off. Board by Williams. Crossover. Pass to Keon Johnson. It's knocked out of bounds by Oubre. Williams to inbound. Straight into Claxton, behind the back. Picks up his dribble. Oh, he's moved through! Embiid! You're getting lost, baby! Give that guy a map. Grimes moves through. Layup is impressive, and there's a foul. I had to plug Chris' move. It was only right. God, Clax, that was cheeky. It's not often you see Embiid getting done dirty like that by Claxton. That's an impressive layup there by Quentin Grimes. He cuts the lead to 15 and makes that free throw. Little over 3 minutes gone here in this third period. It is the Nets up by 14. Have been leaders for much of the game. After the Sixers' fast start, Johnson takes it into the paint again. The pirouette. Foul, it's waved off. Just a very smart maneuver again. Tyrese Maxey's been a little bit trigger happy with the reaching. Another foul there. Hayes will inbound. Straight into Johnson. It's a great feed. It frees up Williams on the perimeter. It's off board by the Sixers. Maxey. Oh my goodness. He sent that into the third row. Launched that one full court. And that wasn't even close to the man. So they've just thrown that one away. Looking for the leak out, which was Grimes. Hayes. Drive in. Good cut by Williams. He lost the ball going up. Maxey's going to take on Hayes here at the rim. And he doesn't get it to go. Sixers get the offensive board. Hayes defending well here on Grimes. He's interrupted his dribble. And then the pass out to Oubre. That was also strained. Claxton with the block. Oubre missed it again. And the Nets get the board. The Sixers had like 4 opportunities. Johnson to the corner for Williams. Another 3. Oh my God. Stop shooting the fucking 3, Zaire. We have the open numbers at the rim. Oubre takes it inside and scores the 2 in close. Zaire's just got to relax because he... Like, I mean, there's open looks there, but if you've got the open look at the basket, use it. There's a foul on Oubre off the ball. Cam Johnson was trying to cut right down the middle. So it will be Nets ball on the side here. Hayes to inbound to Claxton. Cam Johnson yet again collects it. Williams leaves it for Keon Johnson in the corner. He's getting tightly guarded by George. 4 to shoot. He's got to attack. Oh, he gets by him. Slam! Oh, boy. He turned on the Jets. Left George in the dust. 10 to shoot. George is blitzed. To the corner for Maxey. 6 to shoot. Embiid. Take. Miss the layup. Miss the follow. Claxton the board. Keon Johnson the trailer. Out to Hayes. He's got Embiid on him. He's going to take him on here. Shoots with the left. Goes off glass and that's off. Didn't get the angle. Nearly halfway through this third quarter. Maxey. Tightly pressed across to Grimes, 1-on-1. Open paint here for the Sixers to attack, but they don't. Maxey on the outside, the drive down the middle. Layup, didn't get it to go. Embiid's there for the follow-up. That's fairly frustrating because we forced the miss. We've done a pretty good job of forcing misses here in this third quarter. Only the 9 points to Philly. But the Nets haven't looked particularly great on offense either. Johnson 1-2 with Claxton. He'll get it back. Johnson gets by the defender. The scoop. It's off. Claxton missed the follow-up. He couldn't get the tip in. The Nets have the numbers. George is just left open for 3. Didn't shoot it. Claxton got completely removed. Maxey the kick out to Oubre. The 3's off. Grimes nearly got the board. Then he did. And then he got denied by Claxton. It is an absolute mess out there right now. Johnson the spin. The layup. He gets it to go. That is ridiculous, CJ. Falling to the deck. Managed to scoop it up and in. He got the bounce. Oh my goodness. Whew. Nets are having some really, really good moments here. Holy smokes. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets versus Wizards in a couple of days' time. But, mate, we are playing a very good all-round game. I don't think there's really been a stage of the game where we've dropped off, but this was round about the point where the Cavaliers took hold of the game last time out. Now, I'm not saying the Sixers are the Cavaliers, but they definitely have the players to mount a comeback. Claxton has been very, very good here in this third quarter. 13 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and add another block to the total. I mean, he is a block machine. Cam Johnson with the 18, no threes in those 18 points. So it has been a very, very well done performance inside the arc for CJ. Zaire has not made a bucket in this quarter, which is, well, it's less than ideal. But Claxton and Cam Johnson, they've been a great 1-2 punch. still shooting the ball superbly, except for the outside. Feels like the free throws have dried up, but the turnovers remain constant. And the Sixers have a few players in foul trouble. Drummond, Oubre, and Maxey with 3 fouls or more. So, I mean, we're definitely, you know, in a great position. Joel Embiid, only the 12 points, 3 of 11 shooting. It's not often you see Joel Embiid shooting this poorly against a Nets team with Claxton as the center. He's been less than ideal. I mean, all their starters have not been great. George with the 9, but only the 4 attempts. Grimes is the 11. Maxey's the high man with 17. But even he had a great start to the game. But, you know, since quarter time, where they had 30 points, hold on. Yeah. Ever since quarter time when they had 30 points, they've only put on another 31 points. So the defense has just gone to another level. After what was a pretty good start here by Philadelphia to this game offensively. The Sixers are 20% from the field in the quarter. That is a staggering number. Oubre, oh! That was so close. Claxton nearly had block number 4. That was good defense by Cam Johnson as well. Claxton just a little bit too late to the contest. Was it on the way down? Very, very close, but I reckon it was just on the way down. Inside the final 5 minutes now. Johnson's freed up. Top of the key. Open look. Oh my God, he just cannot buy one from the outside. If only we had a couple extra makes from him. Maxey trying to shake and bake. The scoop. Oh, that is just unguardable. And Maxey can trim this deficit back to single figures inside the final 5 minutes. That's a tough one. So, Dayron's going to check in. Tyrese Martin, Trendon Watford, all into the ball game. Reece Beekman's also coming onto the floor. So it looks like they're running a guard lineup of Beekman and Watford, which is really unorthodox in the modern NBA. Keon Johnson picks up his 4th personal. Cam Johnson on the bench. Hayes on the bench. Claxton on the bench. So let's see how this bench unit go in terms of keeping the defensive intensity going. Only the 12 net points offensively this quarter. The Sixers on a 12-4 run in the last 4 minutes. We need offense, and that's not going to help it when we've turned the ball over. We've got to lock in defensively now. Only 13 points to 12 in this third quarter. It's been a tight tussle. Martin knocks that away out of bounds. Oubre will inbound again. They've only got 4 seconds to get it across. Council's in the game for the Sixers for his first time today. Maxey guarded by Beekman. Now Yabusele looking for Embiid in the post. He's got Sharp on him. Turns. We've got a foul on Sharp, and he's picked up his 4th. So, 4 minutes to play. Did they just challenge that? Ooh. Okay. So we're challenging this call here. which is an interesting one because I wouldn't have done that. But Geordie, of course, knows better. Maybe to see if Embiid has flung his arm in a little bit of a ferocious manner, which could be deemed as an offensive foul. So 75-66 is the scoreline with 4 or so minutes to play. 13-12 outscoring in the quarter by Philly. But it's really just hovered at this margin. The Nets got it out to about 17. But it's really hovered at that 13 to 14 point margin. And so the Nets have been pretty persistent today. Every single attempt by the Sixers to rally and get back into the game has been well responded by the Nets. Well responded to by the Nets. All right. So let's see. Let's see what the lads have got. This is going to be a real test. Okay. Okay. If you are enjoying the stream, by the way, make sure to drop a like. And subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Wizards. Oh, we got an announcement. Okay, so it wasn't deemed an offensive foul, but it also wasn't deemed a defensive foul. So the Nets win the challenge. They'll retain their timeout. But Philadelphia will get the ball and Embiid won't get the free throws. So successful challenge nonetheless. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in that. So they've got 5 seconds to shoot. They're going to have to operate pretty quickly here. I reckon they're going to be looking for Embiid or Maxey 1-2 off the inbound. Maxey to Embiid. Fakes the pass, then tripped over. And all we need to do is take the ball. And Embiid is down. We have the numbers. Sharp is trailing the play. Wilson's going to shoot a 3. That is off. Dayron doesn't get the tip in. How on earth? Oh, that is so stiff. So stiff. Embiid is getting held accountable by Sharp here. Oh, that's great defense, but Embiid is able to just chuck one up and score pretty luckily, to be honest. It's back down to 7. Nets have been pretty stiff. They're getting some open shots here. Even getting a few tip-in opportunities at the rim, but nothing's connecting like it was in the first half. Sharp looking for a pass out to Martin. We've got 5 to shoot. We've got to put one up. Martin's going to pull up in the mid-range. And that goes down. No! No! Count it! Mate, they are just calling every single foul on Dayron Sharp here, man. How is that a foul, brother? What a bullshit foul to give. Embiid in the paint, the kick out to Council to the corner for Yabusele, and back to Council. They're going to look for Embiid in the block again. The double arrives by Wilson. They find Council as the man in the middle. Oubre's going to shoot a 3, and he cannot connect, like has been the case on many shots today. Watford going to back down Maxey. He's got the size. The double arrives. He tries the reverse and he got blocked by, I think, the rim itself. Oubre down the middle, and the two-handed flush. And I don't know what Geordie is unimpressed about. Maybe the Watford layup? So, 77-70. And, yeah, the Sixers are making a rally. Pressure is on to make the shots. Which seemed to be a little bit of an issue in this third quarter. The Nets have only gotten 14 points to their name. We're just fortunate that the Sixers have not been nearly dominant enough in response to that. They've only got the 17 points. If you remember, our field goal percentage was just brilliant, but I think we've missed our last 5 shots. We are still stranded on 5 threes. The Sixers are not doing too much better. But that gap is going to close down for every single miss that we continue to make. So pressure is on the bench unit here to perform. With the lead at 7, it's getting a little bit dicey. And I think it's signs are pointing towards the Sixers making a fourth quarter run. I wouldn't be remotely surprised if that occurs. Alrighty. So 7-point lead. Play resumes. Watford the drive in, the spin, the dump off to Sharp, and he gets it to go. That's a great play out of the timeout. Oh my god, and he's been fucking teed up. You were taking the absolute piss. Who is it this time? Is it Dayron again? Or is it Geordie? So Maxey's just going to get an easy free throw here. Assume Dayron wanted the foul. Let's have a look. Oh, every day of the week he's been hit on the arm. Oh, that is just pathetic. It's Watford with the T. I thought it would be Dayron. Maxey out to Embiid. He's got the three-point look. He has not made one all game, and he continues that way. Yabusele gets the board. The kick out to Maxey. Got to get the rebound if we force another miss. Embiid trying to direct traffic. Knocked away by Sharp. Steal. Watford. Drive in. Extra. Beekman gets it up over Embiid. That is impressive to not get blocked, 1, but also make the shot, 2. Back up to double figures now. Yabusele out to Maxey. Beekman playing defense. He gets blitzed. The pass to Council to the corner for Yabusele, who will fire away and convert that tray. That's the first 3 made by either side in the quarter. They are a combined 1 of 13. Wilson, the drive baseline. The dump off. Sharp with the right hand. Gets the bounce. So we've got a minute left in the third. Close out this quarter on a high. Oubre down the middle. The spin. That's a tough shot. How has he made that? So the Sixers remaining in touch. The Nets have a 2-for-1 on offer, but they're going to go quicker. And Watford's blown it. Sharp gets the offensive board. We can go again. Watford's got to attack here. Drives on Yabusele. Hangs. Blocked. And Yabusele will build on his own work and get the rebound. So the 2-for-1 not done to perfection. Maxey will slow things down. A 6-second difference between shot and game. It is a 7-point game. Maxey is blitzed. Falling out of bounds. Lost the ball. Got it back. Has to hang for 3. It's off. Dayron on the board. Passes to Wilson. We got the numbers. Watford sets the feet. Oh my god, you idiots! You were standing on the sideline. Oh my fucking god, man. You cannot make this up. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Fuck's sake, bro. So the Sixers have 2 whole seconds to take it the length of the court. We would have had an open 3 there. Embiid was good on the pump fake, but he's been saved. They're going to move quick. Maxey from half court. Oh, it's a heave. And it wasn't too far away, but that is going to be 3/4 time. And, well, it's definitely set the stage for a very, very, very interesting last quarter. The Nets only managed 20 in that third quarter. And the Sixers do a little bit better. They got 24 on the board. So they've basically evened us out. But they haven't made too much inroads after that brilliant first quarter. We've scored 40 over the next 2 after scoring 40 in the first quarter. This final quarter is going to be a very interesting watch to see if Embiid or Maxey take over the game. Dayron's been great with the 10 points and the 7 rebounds. Watford with the 5 assists, but not all that efficient from the floor today. And the guys on the bench right now have all been exceptional. Johnson, Claxton, Williams, and the other Johnson all getting involved. For the Sixers, Embiid's only at the 14, Maxey the 21. Oubre got a lot busier in that third quarter after only the 2 points, and Paul George did not score a point, so they're going to need to see a bit more from him in the fourth quarter. But the Nets have done, well, excellently well for the first 3 quarters. Oh my god, is that rain cloud? It looks incredibly dark outside. Only the 1 3-pointer between the 2 sides in the third quarter. So I think in the fourth quarter, if you can limit your turnovers and you can hit your threes, then you're going to be definitely well positioned to win the game. Because, yeah, it's been severely lacking on both sides of the ball today. Both sides of the matchup. The Sixers only 7 threes made. The Nets only 5 threes made. The offensive rebounding is also going to be another important thing to note. The Nets have hit 7 extra field goals than the Sixers. So the Sixers are going to need to hit their threes to close the gap a little bit, I would have thought, in the fourth quarter. But they do have a slight edge in the free throw department now that is built up quite nicely. So that is keeping them well in the game. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new, so you can witness more watch-alongs like these. And the next one will be Nets Wizards in a couple of days' time. The implications for a win today: the Nets will overtake the Sixers, or the Sixers will get a game clear of the Nets. Both teams are on the same exact record, and both teams are only, I believe, a game out from the 10 seed, which would have you in the play-in. So crazy to think. Sixers have the ball to start this fourth quarter. Embiid is on the bench. George and Maxey out there with Grimes, Council, and Yabusele. George in the corner. Step back 3 over Wilson. That is tough. It's off. How has Yabusele gotten that rebound? Maxey's going to drive it in. Hayes takes it away. A jump ball. But didn't we have the basketball? Man, that is a great defensive play by Killian Hayes. Looked like he was going to take the charge initially, and then he just snatched the ball away. So a jump ball here between Maxey and Hayes. The Sixers will have 8 to shoot if they win this jump ball, but Hayes has the size. The Nets win the ball. Johnson with the leak out. The heads up play, and the one-handed flush. He got up. Beautiful dime there by, I think it was Wilson. Hayes, it was Killian Hayes, I think. George goes up and hits over Jalen Wilson with the right hand. So Watford, Hayes, Cam Johnson, Claxton, and Wilson, the 5 on the floor. This is an offensively capable lineup. if we can look for the open shots. Hayes, 10 to shoot. Across to Watford. He's got Maxey on him. 1-2. Drive in. Kick out. Johnson's got an open corner 3. Oh my God. He just cannot. He cannot buy one. He's 0 of 7 from the outside. I don't think I've seen as bad of a 3-point shooting game as I've seen. And Grimes just lost the ball. That's beautiful defending by Watford on ball. It was Killian Hayes with the feed before. Such a good player today. Wilson going to inbound to Hayes. Claxton will give it back to him. Watford. Back to Hayes in the left corner. Pulls up for 2 in the mid-range. He's feeling it a bit, but he misses. They can cut it to within 2 possessions now. Maxey nearly lost his footing. The pirouette, the kick out to Yabusele. Corner 3, it's an air ball. Hayes the board. Surveys the floor. Bounces it into Watford, who will drive down middle. Euro step. Right-handed runner. He loves that move. He's got a bit of Kyle Anderson about him. What the hell is that? How's that not a charge? Maxey, top of the key, moves through. Kick out to Council. It's an open look. It's a shocking miss. Well short. And it will be Nets ball as that shot ended up trickling out of bounds. So, opportunity to get this lead back up to double figures yet again. Hayes into Claxton. How is that not a foul? What? How is there not a foul in that? That's a joke that they didn't call that. What a joke. Pretty sure he got hit on that handoff there. Oh my God. The pressure on ball right now by the Sixers is just unworldly. Watford does well to withstand it. Gets inside and he does a little flex for Paul George. That is taking the piss. The Nets are plus 16 points in the paint, and it shows with a shot like that. Yabusele had it stripped, and then Watford committed the foul, and Yabusele will shoot free throws. But this is a really entertaining game for the amount of physicality going on. Trendon Watford, the last couple possessions, man. Jesus Christ. He's been a man possessed. So Yabusele to shoot 2 at the line to cut it back down to 7 points. I don't know how good of a free throw shooter he is. That first free throw goes in though. Council to the bench for Oubre. I think Embiid is still on the sideline. Watford's going to sit down now. Bit of an interesting move. So Zaire Williams back into the contest. That free throw benefits from the shooter's bounce. Hayes will inbound to Wilson. And Johnson gestures to get it back to Hayes, but they are playing much tighter defense here. So you got to be smart with it. Cam Johnson shields the ball. Oh my God. Mate, the defense is absolutely suffocating. Johnson, the 3. Nope. Rebound by the Sixers. We didn't even get into a set there. I feel like Geordie's just got to call a timeout to get this group relaxed a little. George takes it in, and I thought he'd lost the ball. It ended up being an easy runway to the rim. And the Nets call timeout as expected. So back down to a 5-point game. And I'm not sure if it's been... I think it's been as close as this once before. But, man, we're under the pump a little bit, I think. Now it gets a lot more interesting. So, 89 to 84. Okay. So it's just getting very interesting now because the defense is lifted, and with a team like ours, it definitely remains to be seen whether or not we're going to be able to cope. Alrighty. There's a long way to go as well. 8 or so minutes to play. Feel like there's going to be a fair bit of back and forth. Nets have played a very, very solid game regardless. They're probably going to be stiff to lose it if they do lose it. Because I don't think there's really been a stage of the game where we've really lost control. Alrighty. Around the grounds, the Lakers are up on Denver. There's a couple other games around the grounds which sort of concern us. The Hornets and the Jazz playing. Also, Portland are playing the Hornets. So, couple teams around us in the standings, thereabouts, in the league standings, not necessarily conference standings. But this is the most important fixture of them all, with both teams on the same record, 89-84 the scoreline, with a little over 8 minutes to play in this match. It's definitely been a very entertaining game nonetheless. I've enjoyed watching this Nets group play. Good to see the shot falling. Claxton out on the floor now. Yabusele's provided some very good high energy minutes as the backup center. They've opted to go with him over Drummond. And it has worked an absolute treat for them. So let's see if the Nets have a little bit more composure. We've taken Cam Johnson to the bench, so Cam Johnson would usually be the go-to. Wilson, kick out to Johnson. Williams, pump fake. Drive in. Oh, he's well blocked. Sixers lifting. George is going to shoot a 3 over Wilson. It's short. How have they gotten another offensive board, man? George is going to go again, and he misses again. That nearly got the most ridiculous bounce of all time. So, 5-point lead for the Nets remains. Williams to Hayes. Oh my God. Lads, relax. Oh, Jesus Christ. These offensive fouls fucking kill me, man. It's actually ridiculous. The amount of screens that I've never seen the opposition that we play against ever be called for an illegal screen. The ratio is off the charts, and we're just allowed a dunk under the basket. Mate, I don't know what our players are doing. What are our players doing? Fucking sleepwalking on that sequence. So, it's back down to 3. I'll tell you what, I'm okay to like lose the lead, but not like that. That is just absolutely pathetic, really. Like, I don't even know how that's eventuated. Straight off an illegal screen. You haven't even set your team up, and you've just allowed an easy backdoor cut. There's not even a player within 10 feet of the opposition. So, I mean, it's just rubbish. So, it's fairly frustrating, that. Interested to see how... Like, I thought one timeout would do it, but it seems like we've had to use a second one. So, 3-point game. It has not been closer. We've had the lead up to as much as 17 in the second quarter. Or third quarter, I think, early in the third. Looks like the Nets may limp to 100 points again, which is typical. It's a typical staple of Nets basketball. We've only scored the 6 points in nearly 5 minutes. All right. So let's see what group is out there now, because that was a pretty shocking sequence. Whoever's on the floor deserves to get completely sent to the bench. What is going on here? I'm looking at the play. What is Keon Johnson doing, brother? He's just left Oubre in the corner. And, oh my God, what is going on here? They are harassing us. We've got an open look, though, if we could have capitalized, but we're going to play this half-court offense again, which I don't like at all. 7 to shoot. Claxton, crossover. Oh my God. He's lost the handle and he's stood on the sideline. Lads, how many turnovers are we going to commit? Sixers are just playing this suffocating defense I haven't seen all game. It's actually taken Embiid being on the bench for that to happen. So we need to switch on defensively again and not be too discouraged by the way things are going at the moment. Maxey, crossover, drive in, layup. That's off. That's great defense by Isaiah Williams. Get it to Watford, who's met by Yabusele. He's had some great minutes. Keon Johnson to Williams on the wing. Pass out to Watford. 7 to shoot. He's going to drive it in. Puts the head down and gets the foul. That was delicious. He wasn't even looking at the basket and he scooped that one in. He protected the space so well. Oh, that is delicious. T-what? $91.86. That is a very timely bucket. And it would be a very timely make if he makes it. And he makes the free throw. So that and one conversion doubles the lead and sends it back up to 6. Whoa. Williams got decked a couple of times there. Maxey gets by Watford. And the layup is beautiful. So Cam Johnson needs to get it across half court. He does. And Watford is facilitating, it seems like, while he's on the floor. He shoots again and gets it to go again. Watford is playing like a man possessed right now. This is crazy. Grimes, shriveled. Good boy, Z. It's a good closeout, and Grimes took a couple too many steps, and the Nets have a chance to take the wind out of the Sixers' sails. Lead is 6, but they can get this one back up to 8 or 9, and that would be very healthy at this point in time. Behind the back, he lost Oubre momentarily. Probably took too long to get it to Williams, and he's just had it knocked away. From absolutely nothing. Maxey's guarded by Claxton. That's not really a matchup you want, but he does have that capability to defend on the perimeter. Now George up top. Drive in. It's good defense by Z. How has George got that to go? Oh my God. It was almost a tie-up going up. There's nothing you can do there. That is exceptional defense. Watford is locked in, and that is a turnover. And a block or a layup or a goaltend. It's a goaltend. So 4:44 to play. It's 2 points. Oh, lads, you got to deal with this a little bit better. Yeah, that's not even close. That is a clear goaltend. Mate, they have just... I don't know what Nick Nurse said in one of the timeouts, but the Nets have had 5 turnovers in the quarter, and it's mainly off the back of the Sixers actually sparking a lot more energy here in the fourth quarter. Johnson's just fumbled the handle, and it's going to be another tie-up. Goodness gracious me. It's like we can't even take a couple dribbles. Killian Hayes actually not being on the floor is killing us. Like, that is really hurting us. Paul George and Maxey have led the way here. It's no Joel Embiid for the entire fourth quarter. Is Embiid going to come back into the ball game is the question. Because Yabusele has made a massive difference. What's going on here? Looks like Embiid's going to come back in at the 4:27 mark. I definitely feel like the Nets are not going to make it to the finish line here. The way this game has gone, the way this fourth quarter has gone. Hayes is back in. I think that's actually a massive in. I think that's going to make a world of difference here. Who's going to win the jump ball? Johnson v. Yabusele. I think Yabusele has the size. Johnson's got the mobility, but it bobbles about in there, and there's a foul. There's discussions with the official. I'm not sure what over. Let's have a look. Sixers will have the basketball, though, with 4:24 to play. They can take the lead. Wow. I don't know what the run has been, but it definitely is a pretty extended run. Grimes is an open look. Splash! They're in front. What a surprise. We blitzed Maxey and there was an open look. Claxton rolls. He's got an open dunk. He blew the layup. Why did he even go for a layup? Watford's going to come back in. I don't know what's going on. We have scored 5 points in 5 minutes. That really tells you all you need to know. Maxey the drive. Goes vertical. Doesn't get it to go. Oubre slams it in. Holy shit. Are we getting a timeout? Nope. So who hasn't gotten the time here? Keon Johnson's got it. Oh my god. Cam Johnson 3. Give me that! 3 ball! He missed his first 7. That could not be more timely. Oh, this is going to be a back and forth. It looks like we're getting a timeout. Oh, baby. That could have easily been a foul on Cam Johnson, and he's back at the official trying to make his case, but unfortunately, that is simply in the past. We've got to box out, lads. Got to box out. That is a big, big Cam Johnson 3, though. And ties the game at 97, so looks like this is going to be a pretty crazy ending. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets Wizards in a couple of days' time. 97 apiece. 3:10 remaining. So, fair to say the Nets have struggled in this second half offensively. They had 63 points at halftime. We've scored 34 points since. And from a Sixer perspective, they've only scored the 45. But it's very, very clear that, as we've said time and time again, it's not the defense that is the problem for Brooklyn. I would be pretty ecstatic heading into the game, knowing we've held the Sixers to 97 points with this long left in the game. But it's the fact that at halftime we had 63 points. It's really disappointing that we can't get that consistency. There is a lot of implication here, though, to win a game or lose a game today. As we've said time and time again, the Sixers win, and they will be within half a game of the Bulls, who are in the 10 spot. The Nets, the exact same. Both teams on the same record. Excuse me. And the loser will go underneath. 8 to shoot. Grimes on Claxton. Kick out to Maxey. Crossover. It's a step back 3. It's a tough one. He's hit the shot. Of course he has. So 100 to 97. Watford takes it inside. Layup is very impressive, and he thought he got hit. He's got to be careful that he doesn't talk too much shit because he's already picked up a technical. It's back to a 1-point game. The Nets already exhausted 1 timeout. So only 1 timeout remaining for them. Loopy pass over to Grimes. We deny the pass to Maxey. It's good defense. Grimes picks up his dribble, bounces it out to Maxey, drive in and kick out. They got to shoot that. It's off. And a board. And Yabusele thought he was fouled. I thought Claxton had fouled him too and caught him on the arm, but it wasn't to be. And as we approach the final 2 minutes of the game, the Nets are down by 1. They can take the lead. Johnson the drive. Back out to Watford. He's got 7 to shoot. He's been cooking in the last few minutes. He lost the ball though. Put one up. Johnson 3. Yes! Splash! That is such a bailout. And of all players to hit the shot, it's the guy who can't shoot threes for shit. But that is massive. A 2-point lead with 90 seconds to play. What is this scheme? Grimes is going to put one up. That is short. Williams the board. And Johnson will bring it over half court. Inside the final 90 seconds. We've only had 4 field goal attempts from the outside. We've hit 2. Johnson, the drive on Maxey. Oh, that's a beautiful block. We got it back. We got 4 to shoot. Claxton fouled from behind by Oubre. So Clax is going to get free throws, but this is not the guy you want shooting them. And I think it's, well, they've just gone into a huddle, the Nets players. And they're trying to prime Claxton up for these free throws, these high-pressure free throws, which he usually absolutely fluffs. Let's see what he's got. He made 1 free throw before, and he's, of course, bricked a free throw now. The one player we didn't need to fucking shoot free throws. Maxey's trying to get the crowd hyped up. 1:08 to play in this 4th quarter. Clax is 1 of 2 tonight. And that free throw is good. High pressure make. It's a 3-point game. So even the Sixers making a 3 would not give them the lead. Under a minute to play. Maxey the drive in. Good backdoor cut by Oubre. He fumbled it. Blocked by Claxton. We've got the numbers. Johnson, what is he doing? Oh, he's playing the clock here. We have the lead by 3. That's actually a good heads-up play. And we give it to Watford. He can execute the 2-for-1 as well. This would almost, well, it wouldn't ice it, but it would give us a good chance of it. 6 to shoot. Backs down Grimes. Picks up the dribble. Kick out. Johnson again! Oh, it's off! Rebound by Grimes. They're going to push. 5-second difference. We've just allowed an open 3. What are we doing? Maxey hits the big one and ties it at 103. We're not going to use the timeout. Why on earth did Johnson leave Maxey open in the corner? What a way to baffle me. 6 to shoot. We're going to use the whole clock. Watford clears out. It's an open look. Johnson! No! Claxton! Tip in! Oh my God! Oh my God, has he tipped that in? He's tipped it in! Nic! Oh my god, he may have actually made the bucket as the clock expired. That was out of absolutely nowhere. Oh my god, the Johnson 3 was off, but Claxton with the putback. The question is, did he do it in time? Yes, he fucking did. It's not even close. It's over. Let's see how long it... Clax put it up with 0.2 on the clock. What a tip. I can't even get mad about that. That is an insane make. How he's even gotten that angle to work. It's actually just... It's just sat up on the rim. I feel like there's so many layups he's tried like that where it's gone out the other side. That is unreal. Let's have a look at the bench reaction. The bench are loving it. And we've stolen the game at the death. Cam Thomas just stares at the crowd. Nicholas Claxton, you beauty. What a fucking result that is. That has appeared out of absolutely nowhere. We have stolen the game in the final 0.3 seconds. I thought we'd screwed it up with Maxey. But Nic Claxton says, not today. We are making that play in. He fucking did it. That is absolutely mental. I don't think Clax has ever had a game winner in his life, but Masked Claxton is a different beast altogether. And we put him in the player to watch, and that's got to be a world first. I don't think I've had a player to watch make a game winner ever. Watford is loving it. We have not had a game-winning buzzer beater since the Kyrie 3 at Toronto 2.5 years ago. And I actually was covering that game. I do remember. This is fucking mental. How have we won that, bro? Look, I thought Keon Johnson was somehow going to be the dagger. Because he had 3 very good three-point attempts. He only hit the 1 and then he gave away a 3 on the other end. But, man, that is... I did not expect that in the closing minutes. The Sixers scored 27. We scored 22. We got outscored in that second half. 51-42. I mean... Our offense is not the thing that wins us games. It is the defense. It may have left a little bit to be desired in that second half. And the offense probably didn't help us out. But, man, that is pretty impressive that we, even with the Philly crowd getting involved late in the game, because they are very, very vocal and hostile, and we hate their guts, that is an impressive W. To almost hold him off the entire game with the players they have available, no question, that's probably one of our better wins of the year. Clax, with that game winner, ends the night with 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. I don't know how many offensive rebounds he got, but he will never have a more valuable offensive rebound in his career. He also had 5 blocks. He had a big block down the stretch. I think it was Oubre's layup attempt, which was blocked. Great shift. And I think it also needs to be said, Trendon Watford, what a fucking game he had. For some reason, he's just not visible on the box score. I don't know where the hell he's gone. Let me just do a reset here. We do a quick refresh because we don't like to exclude any good performances. Trendon Watford had 16 points on 7 of 13 shooting with 6 dimes. He was absolutely crucial. Dayron Sharp with 10 and 7 off the bench. Those two are proving to be a very good 1-2 punch off the bench, and Wilson had some very important buckets in the first half. Cam Johnson was 1 of 9 from deep, but he could have not hit a more important 3 down the stretch to tie the game at 97. Ends with 23. Williams had 11 points all in the first half. They were crucial in giving us that 63-point first half. Keon Johnson with 11. He only hit 1 3 in the game, and he also... there must be something with Johnson 3-pointers because they were both incredibly important with their 2 combined makes out of 12. Killian Hayes had a really good game, +3 in only 26 minutes, 3 points, 6 assists, and there were some very flashy dimes in there as well. And overall, as a team, we shot 50%, which is a great mark. We only hit 2 threes in that quarter, but the 2 Johnson threes were those threes, and they were, as I said, couldn't be any more crucial. The Sixers came storming home, but they left themselves with too much work to do. The Nets played some great defense across the night, ensuring that Joel Embiid, he only played 31 minutes. He did not play the fourth quarter. So, well, he did play the fourth quarter, but he was basically a non-factor. Oubre got involved in the second half. George got involved in the fourth quarter. Maxey hit some big threes down the stretch after having a quiet middle 2 quarters, and Quentin Grimes the same. However, they really got nothing from their bench. I mean, Yabusele was the only guy, and Ricky Council in the second half who played minutes. And in the end, you had Maxey play 42, you had Oubre play 37 with Grimes, and you had George play 40. So the fact that they needed those minutes from those guys and still did not win against a team with the starting lineup we had, I mean, this is just showing Jordi Fernandez's ability as a coach. It's just crazy to think that we have won a game like this. Had absolutely no business winning it as well. So, credit to the Nets team today. There really was good performances across the board. I think I'll just round it off by looking at the team stats real quick, and then we can call it a day. Points off turnovers, we got 19 points off turnovers to their 10, so we were much more punishing. The fast break points were very similar, but the points in the paint, good balance there. We had 60 points to their 50. That gap closed down as the game wore on, but we were very smart with it early on, and that's what funded our 63 points. The rebounding, we only had 9 offensive rebounds, but that was probably the most valuable 2 second chance points we will ever get. And the assist number today, 27 assists. It probably dried up as the game wore on, but you know, still a really good performance in the end by this Brooklyn Nets team. So that's going to wrap it up. I mean, I'm just going to quickly take a look at the second chance points. Let's have a look. Second chance points. 11 apiece. So those 2 points by Claxton tied it up. Wow. What a game. And look, I think the Sixers will be ruining their missed opportunities from 3. They only shot it at a 26% clip. 10 of 39. Man, they had a chance to improve in those third and fourth quarters, and they only mustered up 10 threes total. So that's probably, well, that is something that they needed to improve on in the second half in order to win the game. We said that at 3/4 time, and they left their run too late. They hit some big threes down the stretch, but they weren't able to get enough stops, and they weren't able to make those threes for long enough. So, huge win in the end. Pretty happy with that performance. It was a great showing, but we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in. We will chat to you in the next one in a couple of days' time against the Wizards. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.